Good evening, good Sunday. We are back. It is the Alpha Traders Top 5 Plus Sum, as always, where we go over the three main indexes. And then, of course, we give you our top five. Most likely, it's going to be way heavier this week. Plays for the week. And hope you guys had a great week. We absolutely were killing the scalps this week. Also, our swing trades came back like C Limited and whatnot. It was a really good week. Was took some shots on Friday. They paid off big. But next week's looking even better. And, right now we have futures at plus 19. So we're looking for a nice gap up tomorrow. Let's see if this holds overnight. But as always, if you guys are interested, please check us out. We have a 3-day trial on our full-time members. You get Discord, alerts, news, all our plays, our swing plays, my swing plays. I'm DP. Swing plays and scalps and looks and possible plays that you can do. We also have our managers who do it, and then we also let you guys as members, you put your plays out there as well for people if they'd like to follow you as well. So lots of stuff, a lot of really good stuff going on in there. We'd love to have you. Also, we introduced our $50 scalp service. So what it is, really, it's my scalps, which have been, I think we're at 85% hit rate right now. It's been amazing. I mean, literally, it really was a gift last week. We called the bottom. If anybody was following us on Twitter at Alpha Traders Inc., we nailed the bottom. I think I was screaming from the top of as many buildings as I could. Buy when we got that gap down, when we bought into that gap down. It was great. We absolutely killed Tesla. We killed Roku. Just tons more plays. SPY, Qs. It just ran and ran. So if you guys are interested, we have a 3-day trial on the full-time member. We have $50 SMS scalping service. Really what it is, it literally just comes to your phone. I will send you a text with every single play that I go into and I go out of. You don't have to follow it, obviously. This is not, you have to manage your account. I can't do it for you. All I'm telling you is what I'm doing and how I'm managing my account. So, but it's a great service. People that have been in there have already paid for, I think, 2 years of the service in 1 week of us having it out. So love to have you. Links in our bio, as you guys can see. If we go to our profile here, you see right here. This is the link in the bio for the SMS scalping. And then, of course, just go to the website here for right here for your full-time member. We'd love to have you. All right, let's get to this. This is what everybody wants, right? This is why we're here. So, sorry, I was looking at the Russell here, seeing how it was consolidating more or less. It's a little bit of a laggard lately. So let's go to SPY. Very simple. It was an absolute ripper last week. We called this bottom down here. We were on it 100%. We were screaming it from the roofs. We didn't hide it from anybody. You can go back in our Twitter, back in Discord. It is literally, we were screaming from the tops of roofs here. I really liked the gap down that happened this day. We were buying hard. We bought a lot into it. We sold most of it into this day 2. Some of it got into day 3, but we closed it out just because, with options, that theta, you get that IV burst, and then once that IV goes down, implied volatility, you get that pullback in price. So we're trying to capture the IV race. That's kind of how that's why I kind of put the SMS scalping service out there, because it's more of you're catching the IV plays. So it's quick in, quick out. If you have a cash counter, you're over 25,000 with margin, that's kind of for you. But it's quick in, quick out. I'm boom, boom, boom. I rarely hold things overnight. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. But the majority is I'm trying to get in and out. I'm trying to get between 20 to 80% on anything. Sometimes I get 100, 200, and we try to cut our losses. Even though my pure part of me says expect zero, which you should always expect that everything you take will go to zero and help you manage your account better. For my scalps, I can easily see if they're going to be a winner or a loser, and I'm able to adjust at that point most of the time. Anyway, so you see that SPY closed at the highs, 464. This is beautiful. Love to see the 400s. Our swing service, actually, we bought some down here back at 393, somewhere right about here. Actually, we bought the 410s and 415 spies for beginning of May. So those are up 70 and 65% right now, I believe. Look great. We've already shaved. I think I bought 100 of those, of the 415s, and I think I bought. I don't think I bought as many 410s. I wanted to load up on the 415s. So shaving them off as we go. We shave some off at 30, off at 40, off at 50, off at 60, off at 70. And since you don't have to play it the way I do, you can always roll, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But those swings that we're using are just absolutely on fire. But SPY looks good for tomorrow. I think what obviously is going to happen, at least to me anyways, I think with the news with Tesla deliveries and the move last week, and everybody's super bullish, even though, let's put this 8 and 21 day back on here real quick so we can check it out. You can see it's pretty far extended from the 8-day. And usually what that means, it needs a consolidation day. So I wouldn't be surprised if we gap up and then we bring it back down, to 398 at first, 398.12, and then see what happens. I would expect that type of move in SPY, but I am looking at it, small gap up. We're going to sell into that gap. What we have, some of that stuff we have, you got to lock in profits. That's why you're here. Don't sit there and think it's going to run 30 points when it's already had one, how many green days in a row? 1, 2, 3, technically 6 green days in a row, but obviously it wasn't that. But 4 out of 6 days were runners. So just know that. Manage your account. Expect some. I'll be buying puts tomorrow most likely. We'll see where it lands and where it goes. Qs, different story. So this is the one thing that I really thought of when I was thinking about, okay, where is our not our quote unquote top, but our local area of interest on SPY where we can get short at. And I'm looking at this and I go, oh boy, I'm really going to need some confirmation, because above the fibs here, you are just, it's going to retest 322. But I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to, 328 tomorrow, 329 possibly. First couple hours. If it gets up to 329, I'll be shorting the Qs. I'll actually short everything at that point because it'll be a scalp play. I'm not going to sit there and say the market's falling out because that's dumb. But I will say that I think this will catch up with the 8-day here. You have all these indicators. Remember when everybody was like, oh, it's going to fail. It's going to fail. And we were screaming buy right here. It's a very, very simple thing. You get to the 100-day. It's a very simple bounce in a bull market for me. In a middling market, I would probably wait for the 200. In a bear market, I would just let it fall and short the heck out of it. So just something there for you to eat on. But I would expect a gap up to at least 326 tomorrow. It could just then just fall back and just consolidate here for, a little while. But I do expect this fib to get touched before we go. That's why I'm saying I think we gap up and then we come back. Russell ran so hard. You look at this, it just ran so hard. It's kind of lagging now because it doesn't need to lead anymore because money is rotating out of Russell and back into tech and back into the reopen. So I think this is going to be one of those laggers. I think this channel right here between 207 and 234 is going to be, if you look at something like NVIDIA or Netflix or, something like a big index, big stock like that. They build these channels that just become monsters. And I expect this to continue. I expect this to, I think 228 is possible this week. It could happen tomorrow. Maybe it just rips up and it says, okay, well, I'm going to take it. I don't think it does. I think it's going to be more like this. It's going to be small and then it's going to pop up and everybody's going to get really bullish and then it's going to fall flat on its face and then we'll get into a drawback. You know what I mean? June and May, we'll get a drawdown. You know how that goes. So not over focused, but it is there, and we'll see how that goes. Big one. I didn't even draw anything except fibs on this because I was like, at the end of the day, NOx being approved by the FDA is the biggest piece of information that it could get. There is no other. I've been saying this for months. If NOx is FDA approved, it goes to 200. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that it's a 200. I think this is going to be the biggest mover in the stock market, possibly Monday. This 41.33 it closed at. I can guarantee you it's going to be 50 by the time it opens. It might even be 55 by the time it opens. So we'll see how it goes. I would love for it to only open up to 47, of course. I wouldn't even be surprised if they pulled this thing back in the morning to like fool some people so that a lot of people that couldn't get in on it on Friday, I'm sorry, this is a Thursday close, that couldn't get on Friday are going to be like, okay, well, some big boys and, institutions is where we're going to have to see if they pull this thing back in so that they can rip it back up. I'll probably open and take some calls just off the bat. The premium on is going to be ridiculous. So it might be as soon as that bell hits, I just mark it by some because I believe in the conviction of it. So I'm not going to go crazy with it. I'll put $2,000, $3,000 of my money personally up. I think that's a good spot. I don't mind losing that because I think that if it runs, I might 10x my money. So we'll see how it goes. Usually expectations like this, it pops and then it pulls back and everybody's like sitting here like, and it goes lower and they push it so they can buy it. And then you're like, okay, wait a second. But I do think there's just enough conviction, enough buyers. I think this thing starts running and over 50, it's really easy. Over 52 gets to 56, over 56, it's gone. Like 50, that's the big buy. If you want to wait and you're a more conservative trader, wait till 56 closes on the daily, you're good to go. BRKS, semi-play. They manufacture semiconductors. They're smaller of the semiconductors, but chart looks great. Just from a chart standpoint, I was checking out the premiums. They're a little pricey, but we'll see how it goes. But I wouldn't, this to me, I really like it over 91.91. That's probably what I'm going to wait for. It's at 90.66. Over 91.91, a close over that is great. On the 65-minute chart, it's pretty much the same thing. You get over 91.10, and I think this is a great buy. You can probably go into the 92s, 93 calls, lottos this week, and make yourself a nice double. Buying, I mean, the volume is there. Look at Thursday. The volume is there. The buying is there. It's in the second half of the day. If it fails here, it'll come back to 88. You could short this. You can buy some puts against it. See how it goes, but just watch it. I love this. I love this name going into this week. I think you had LRCX, you had NVIDIA, you had the main guys, TSM. You had those semis. All those guys really moved. Of course, NVIDIA is more chips and semis, obviously, but that's that grouping. So since LRCX, TSM, those guys went. I'm looking at those secondary names to get money into, and obviously you can see that every time it touches the 8-day now in this new active sequence, it goes up. So Brooks Automation. Next one, Qorvo. Again, I was going through all the semis and I was looked at pretty much everybody that's in the semi index. And I just think this might be the better of charts. It's flagging and it kind of caught up to the 8-day here. For me, it's pretty easy. I'm going to go on the 65-minute chart. For me, I'm going to look for something around 190. I think that's a bottom of the flag. You don't want to buy the top of the flag because then you're saying, okay, it's going to break up, and half the time it doesn't, half the time it doesn't. I don't like that risk reward. So for me, hopefully it has a down day. Maybe semis have a down day, and this comes back to 190. Even 188 would be great. You can really long that. This would be more of a swing play for me. I'd be looking at 4 to 6 weeks out. Probably go about the 200s and see where it goes from there. And we'll look at it on the daily real quick. We got a lot of stuff to do, not a lot of time. Same thing. 194.28 on the daily. On the I need the 191 for the 65-minute, and then if I'm looking at a daily, I want to close above 194. Obviously, it could go above, and maybe it holds for an hour, and I see it. Depends on the time frame that you're looking at. Just a little overextended, but that's why I was saying it might come back to 188-ish, somewhere around here. This could be a nice short, or if it does break if you're looking at higher time frames, you're looking for these swings, 194.28. I like this over 198.82 on the larger time frames, and then on the 65-minute, like I was saying, 190.23 would be really good for you're looking for a scalp play. You're trying to get back to 194 on that. Next, apps. I haven't played apps that much, and I'll be honest with you. you could have made a lot of really, really good money on the hourly, obviously. Oh, sorry. You know, going from 93 to, you know, 68 if you played this, or if you played this on the second bounce here, the double bottom on 70, and you played it up, it's been good. I think this is ready for a bounce though. That's kind of where I'm looking at this. You know, the 8-day on the daily, let's look at the daily real quick. You're forming this channel right here. Again, these channels are really powerful things, and it's a place, you know, that over time you'll probably see apps move to 120, 125. But for now, it's in this channel and it's on the upper end of the channel. So I'm looking for a move to probably 90. I would say that if apps has a good week, it can get 90, if not 88. We'll see. Is it 82.27 close on Thursday? We'll see if it goes and touches the 8-day here. I'm a buyer at around 80 personally. I think 80 is a really good number. Might buy a 4 to 6 week swing out of this. Might buy the 90s. Then I might buy the 81 or 82s for this week. I have to look at the premiums and see, because again, I'm more of a premium reader than I am a chart person. So I'm looking at premiums and the way they're moving and see where the market maker makes mistakes. I told you we were going to have more than 5. I'm sorry. You guys know how I roll. When I see stuff, I got to let you know. So Baidu, this is what got me bullish on Baidu. Look at this. Holy geez. This is nonstop buying. This is Thursday. This is Thursday. Look at this. You can see it. Call flow. 63, almost 6,400 calls. 100% bullish. And if we wanted to sort it, you don't have to, but we'll just skimming through it. Next Friday, 220 calls. That's block. Blocks are usually big boys, BOI apostrophe S, big boys that are accumulating their position so that they aren't found out. The problem is a lot of these algos, problem for them, a lot of these algos know that and they're picking up on these. So that's why, you know, Cheddarflow is great at finding these blocks, but you look at it, block. So this is telling me same buyer. This is telling me same buyer. He thinks 220 is coming. He was at 219. He bought it at 220. He bought it at 218. Like for me, these blocks, and then if you go earlier in the day, same buyer. You can see the pattern here. He has over what? We'll call it 1 million. We'll call it 1 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, about $1 million in the 220 lottos for next week. Personally, we went into the 225s. They're down 30% right now. I'm not afraid, obviously, because if you look at this, there's a lot of people look at this split. The 200s, they went deep in the money. They're actually down right now. But it's for April 16th. So same buyer. You see these splits. I mean, to me, this is screaming bull. I mean, this is like, if you're not seeing this, you're an idiot. I'm sorry to say it, but you're not smart and you should probably stop trading because this says bullish. Aggressive traders like me, I see this. I see what they're doing. They're trying to pay $7. I'm not trying to do that. I'm going to go five points higher. And I'm going to play this for a spike. I'm going to play this to 223, 224. If they're paying 7 for 220s for this week, they're looking at 226, 227 as a target for them. So if Baidu gets to 227, I'm sitting there like at 225. That's a 80%, 100% trade. And then you go to the chart and you go, oh, I see why. As it touched and bounced, they're saying it's either news or it's holding. So I think 242 is in play this week. Am I crazy? Maybe. But to me, there's this gap right here between the lowest low from the down point. But really what it is, it's the 8-day here. Even though it closed below it, you still have the 8-day. It retakes the 8-day at 222. It's going to pop to 227. Easy. Once it takes out 227, it's clear skies for this. You might get, I really don't see it. You might get a little here at 235. I'll be out of most of mine if it's 235. That's what, $10 over. I'm probably pretty good at, I'm a happy guy at that point. I'm going to we would have paid 5 to make 15. So I'll take 300%. But they're playing the 227. They're playing from the top, from the high here. So we'll see how it goes. But Baidu, for me, I think this is a raging buy. I put a ton of cash in there. I think I put 30,000 or maybe something like that into this. I really feel strongly when the flow is like this and I see this gap in between on the daily, I go, that's a play. The 65-minute, as you can see, you have a couple levels. You got the 224, like I said, the 224, 225 level. And then you have, the 100-day. You have the 100-day here on the 65-minute. So this is that's that 238. So as you can see, literally all really Baidu has to do is get through 227.39. You see this like pressure buying. Usually these types of spikes, they're either really trying to get you short, but usually they take it down by then. So this right here tells me there's some buyer conviction, even though it's a red candle. To me, it says, okay, boom, and then this comes down and it just goes back into the channel. So there's a little bit of pressure here. So Baidu's a great play. I think it's going to look really good, and I'll see it 300%. NIO, I'll try to go faster through this. NIO is a conviction play. Again, you look at NIO, 87.13. I like it. Personally, I bought the 40s for next week. I also bought the 43s and the 50s. The 50s I expect to go to zero. I'm not expecting miracles. I just thought if it spikes, maybe we can get 20, 30%. They're already down 30%, so probably not going to get that. So hopefully we just can break even on it. But you can see there's a ton of flow on this, 18,000, almost 18.8 in calls. So to me, this is very bullish. Going into next week, you see a lot of 41 calls, 42, 41, and they're little pieces here, but you see the blocks, you see these guys starting to sweep it up. We'll see how this goes. But if Baidu's running, my guess is NIO. There's some rumors that NIO had a car out in California. A guy took some pictures, so we'll be interested to see. But 42.20 is the big area. Once over 42.20, it's going to pop probably to 44. So I'm playing it for the pop to 42, shave some off, then to 44. Try to speed this up. We got some names. Google, absolute beast. This is one of the easiest plays you'll have all week. Through 21.45, if it closes above 21.45, it's going literally to 21.90, 2200. This is not a hard thing. Look at the volume on that. It's had really one monster day, and it was in this channel. It's now testing the top of this channel. I would not buy it if it opens at 21.35. If it opens up above around 21.47, you can probably buy some, buy the 21, buy the 2200s, and you can scalp it for 20, 30% before it comes back down. A safer bet is let it run and then let it come back and then let it chop and see what happens. Pick this up from my man Freshie, one of my favorite guys on Twitter. We have this like mind thing. We think alike. WWE though, they have WrestleMania coming up on the 10th. That's this Saturday, I believe. It might be Saturday or Sunday, whatever it is. It's the week of. So looking for this to move. This is on the daily here. I'm thinking 56. You can probably buy the 56 calls and really, do probably pretty well. If you look on the 65-minute, same thing. They got a lot of buying pressures here. Bounce off the 200 EMA on the 65-minute. That's always good. Really just needs to get through 55.67. Once he gets through 55.67, sees 56, 67, maybe even 57. If he really wants to run over 57, you're going to see 58. So I would probably go with the 56s and chill. Last one. Roku. Look at this downtrend on the 65-minute. Yikes, right? You look on the daily, 50% retracement rule. Well, 50% rule, I call it. Very simple. Very, very, very. It has come down 50% of the move up, 50% of the move. From the move up, 50% of that move has come down, and it bounced right at 292. So for me, we played this here at 305. I sold it at the 8 day. I sold it at like 324. I think we made like 120% on our calls. I wanted to lock in the profit because Roku's obviously still in a local downtrend. But watch for this. 343, if 343.42 goes, you got to see it hold 324. If Roku gets to 325, personally, I'm going to take a shot here. I'll probably go into the 340s or 350s, probably the 340s, because this 343 obviously is a number. And see if we can't get a nice trade from 324 to 343, which is, that's 18 points. That's 100% easy. If we got the 340s, if we bought them down here around 325, that's very easy. So we'll see if that's a play. You see the local indicators are starting to curl up. Let's change this VWAP here. Let's change this to 10 so we can all see it here. We want to get, all right, just wanted to see what the anchor on it was. So really that's it. If it breaks above 343, I don't think it does, but if the market decides to run, this is clear skies. 350 is going to be a number. Over 350, you see 363, like super easy. So Roku is actually a really good play in my opinion. I don't think it gets there. I think it comes here and then I think it comes back down and people get all bearish again on it. And then that's your double bottom. And then you get your uptrend again. So that's what I got for you guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys sitting through it. So I know it was a long one, but I appreciate your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Check us out at Alpha Traders Inc. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, but also don't forget, come be a member. Try it out. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. Good luck to everybody, and we'll see you out there.